Next news. Breaking news from the White House. 6 arrested, 7 cited. 17 police reports in the corporate press still planted Ed O'Keefe at the Lincoln reflecting pool to announce with a straight face that he still can't find the 350-foot gash President Trump described. That's the story. Not ducks, not algae, not CBS doing laps around the water like some cable news lifeguard drill. President Trump says the damage was purposefully and criminally done. Now ABC, CBS, and CNN are running interference for the vandals, while Trump threatens to sue ABC and send their money straight to the U.S. Treasury. Good. Make the liars pay. Because what these people are protecting, it tells you everything. And the fight matters because the Lincoln Memorial is not a prop for Democrat activists or a punchline for regime reporters. It's a national symbol. And President Trump's restoring it ahead of America 250, while the same media machine that covered for disorder under the former Biden administration now sneers at enforcement, mocks repairs, and gaslights the country in real time. Caroline Leavitt laid it out. 17 police reports in just a few days, 6 arrests and suspects tied to the Democrat Party, Barack Obama, and Act Blue. That's not random mischief. That's a political culture that treats desecration, as activism and accountability as the scandal. Then you get Scott MacFarlane joking that if prosecutors took this to a D.C. grand jury, you might hear laughter outside the room. Laughter at vandalism of the Lincoln reflecting pool. CNN sent crews to sniff algae. CBS hunted for a slit. ABC pushed false reporting. President Trump fixed the city, cleared the tents, beautified the monuments, and made Washington safer. The press answered by becoming defense lawyers for chaos. When Ed O'Keefe and CNN are out there playing pool detective, I pay more attention to things that actually help real people. You see, I saw that Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson clip on red light therapy, and when Gibson said the stuff works, it hit home. Jonathan Otto first turned me onto it after I watched my own family push through serious health struggles, constant discomfort, and anxiety. Then finally, it all got real. Restful sleep, better energy, improved recovery. Light-based therapies deliver cellular-level support with red and near-infrared wavelengths for deeper penetration. NASA-backed research shaped this field. FDA-cleared devices can support circulation and reduce inflammation. At myredlight.com, you'll find PEMF mats, full-body coverage, infrared heat, and at-home use instead of paid sessions. Go to myredlight.com, use NNN25 for individual items or NNN30 for bundles. Build health and ignore the media circus. And here's the detail the corporate press wants buried under all that algae theater. Trump's contractor is coming back under warranty. No new funds. Read that again. No new funds. So while CNN chirps that its team spotted more signs of algae and CBS keeps pretending the only story is that their cameras can't find on one morning walk, the actual work keeps moving. The monument keeps getting repaired and the vandals keep getting tracked. Now I'm going to show you the receipts because the audience in America, we see the scam more clearly than the people paid to hide it. President Trump has threatened to sue ABC News over its coverage of the chaos engulfing the reflecting pool.
We have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that? Do you have any proof of this?
I mean, we didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that?
Yeah, we have
proof. Photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You
The
think that's real?
reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no
just-
evidence of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. They put, somebody said fertilizer in the water. If you put fertilizer in the water, you get algae. But somebody said they might have put fertilizer. They did something to create the algae, but that doesn't matter because that's been purified. It's dead. Laying at the bottom, they're taking it out. They vacuum it out. They vacuum it very carefully out. And it'll be back to health pretty soon.
So Trump says ABC pushed falsehoods about the reflecting pool mess. Now, here's the president himself laying out the alleged knife damage and saying arrests are already underway.
They've arrested, I think, 6 people on the reflecting pool. So the reflecting pool looks fantastic. I just got pictures of it. It's beautiful. But somebody went in with a knife and cut it. They cut it up good. And then they cut a 350-foot slip in the form of lots of little slips, real horrible stuff, and they destroyed the grass. We put a brand new big load of grass out there, and they destroyed it. So it's all being fixed, but it's a shame. So I understand 5 or 6 people are arrested. The Interior Department can refer to you on that. And I hear they have 6 people under investigation.
So Trump is doubling down. It wasn't wear and tear, it was sabotage. Next, CBS Scott MacFarlane tries to downplay the arrest and mocks the entire case on air.
A botched redecorating of a monument that means, as Amanda said, means something to everyone. It doesn't belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to any president that's in office. He's the steward of it for 4 years and he ruined it. Tell me how the arrests around the reflecting pool are changing D.C. right now.
Let me tell you about the 5 arrests first, Nicole. They're not major cases. They are U.S. Park Police or federal law enforcement citations. If the Department of Justice wants to make this a major case and charge these people with felonies, they have to go to a grand jury. And though grand jury deliberations are secretive in a closed room, you might hear the laughter outside the grand jury room if they try to bring this case to a D.C. grand jury. It's not going to fly. The U.S. attorney, Nicole, has until July 9th, that 18 days from now, to decide whether and how to charge these cases. The citation on the former Olympians, Mark, has a July 9th court date. So they have until then to figure out how they're going to paper or charge this case, if they charge the case. At the reflecting pool, you have a smell that's emanating now that is reminiscent of a high school locker room. You have a police force and National Guard presence that is profound. It's never bad to have federal law enforcement near a gathering place, and a lot of people are gathering there to rubberneck at the damage. But it's like a jewel heist from the Muppet Caper's going to happen. You have so many police hanging out there, and it seems to be a misappropriation of resources. I'll tell you, Nicole, people in D.C. like the restored fountains that populate the rest of the city. Trump takes credit for that. But I know a week ago tomorrow, D.C. voters unanimously, and I shouldn't say unanimously, overwhelmingly nominated Democrats for office from D.C. who were emphatically opposed to Donald Trump and all his projects.
So you heard the media sneer at citations and security like it's a joke. Now Trump puts it in writing, spelling out the 350-foot damage and the arrests and the citations tied to it. Posting this to Truth Social, 6 people have been arrested, 7 people cited for the damage they did to our country's now beautiful reflecting pool. The 350-foot gash made by a very sharp knife or razors is actually numerous slashes over a very long 350-foot length. Purposely and criminally done. Somebody had to work very hard, probably in the dark of night, to create such a condition. Likewise, a small area at the bottom of the pool was cut and powerfully lifted off the surface, leaving a very jagged, uneven edges. Large areas of grass are being replaced. In any event, even prior to fixing those areas, the reflecting pool is as beautiful as it can be. We will drain some of the water, either immediately before or after the 4th of July, to do the permanent repair. So the Post makes the White House case plain, deliberate vandalism, not some mystery malfunction. Next, MSNBC gives the mic to one of the men arrested who says he was cuffed after touching the water.
Just out on about a 50-mile bike ride, and I decided to swing back over by the reflecting pool on my way back as a concerned, curious citizen.
And you checked out the pool. You told the AP that you just put your hand in the water. And then what happened? You had, I've seen like National Guardsmen came up to you and then Park Police. How did that all go down?
As soon as I left the side of the reflecting pool and went back to my bike that was laid down on its side on the edge of the grass, 3 National Guard troops sort of materialized and started talking to me about, after I greeted them, they were talking to me about the park police wanting to talk to me.
And they arrested you? They put some sort of cuffs or zip ties on you behind your back?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd done anything wrong, so I had no reason to think I was going to be arrested, but I suggested we walk over toward the park police rather than waiting for them to come to us, and went over and furnished my ID, and kind of before I knew it, I was being handcuffed and realized I was being arrested.
Yeah, maybe you should have thought twice. So while one detainee plays the confused bystander, press keeps circling the pool. CNN reports have found more algae and more security equipment on site. They spotted the algae. CNN on the case.
CNN's team spotted more signs of algae at the pool this morning. We also saw at least 6 new trailers in the surrounding area hooked up with security cameras.
Yeah. So CNN can spot algae in trailers just fine. What they can't do is admit the vandalism angle gets stronger. Caroline Levitt about to bring receipts with 17 police reports.
All right, Caroline, any more details on the 5 people that have been arrested regarding vandalism here?
The vandalism is very real, despite what Tim Walz wants to say. It's an imaginary problem. No, it is not. It's a very real problem. In fact, I spoke with the National Park Service just before joining the show. They now have 17 police reports that have been filed in just a matter of a few days. There's actually been 6 arrests at the reflecting pool, where, again, these deranged individuals, many of them longtime donors to the Democrat Party, to Barack Obama, to Act Blue, that have been vandalizing and desecrating our federal monument, one of the most beautiful monuments in the world, the reflecting pool. And that's why President Trump is not going to stop with this effort. We're going to not only hold those people accountable, but we're going to fix the pool, continue to make it beautiful from this despicable vandalism just in time to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday next week.
So she says the damage is real. Suspects are real and Democrats are tied to the chaos. Next, Sean Hannity reminds viewers the media somehow forgot Obama's own costly reflecting pool renovation disaster.
About Barack Obama. Take a look.
But he is claiming that vandals are to blame. He says they illegally placed chemicals in the water and left a 300-foot gash in the pool. Now, 5 people are said to have been arrested. He says a 10-year prison sentence will be strictly enforced. Oh. Well, if he's saying he's going to jail for 10 years, I'm going to let him go. It seems to me that had he not messed with the pool, you know, it would still be a reflecting pool instead of a liquid jungle.
All right, we're getting to the best part. Now, of course, there's been never-ending coverage from the legacy media mob about the state of water in the pool. Camera crews on site from nearly every network. Water samples, expert interviews, in-depth coverage every second of every day. So-called journalists, Democrats have whined in unison about the cost of this project, seemingly forgetting this very one important part. We had a president. His name was Barack Hussein Obama. He conducted a renovation of that reflecting pool. He did it in 2012 at roughly double the cost. And the result of Obama's $34 million 2-year project, a reflecting pool that continued to leak and a massive algae problem that he had.
So Hannity's point is simple. The same press corps that covered for Obama is now going wall-to-wall against Trump. Next, CBS presses Trump again, and he fires back that he personally saw the cuts.
Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
Did you have proof of that?
Yeah, we have
you
proof.
Photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You think that's
The
true?
reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no evidence of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you.
So Trump says he saw the slashes with his own eyes, points the reporters back to Parks Department. Then CBS's Ed O'Keefe, who you just saw in the Oval, interrogating Trump about it, goes to hunt for that 350-foot gash and claims he still can't find it.
I just did a lap around the pool here. We walked the full length of it. It is mostly algae-free. You can see that American flag blue reflecting up. The ducks are out swimming this morning and look just fine. There are a lot more cops, National Guard, even some U.S. Marshals out here keeping tabs on things. But the one thing we still can't find is any evidence of a gash along the floor of the pool. Despite that, the Interior Department is taking steps to drain the pool again and fix it again. As chips of American flag blue lining float amid algae in the reflecting pool, President Trump is blaming vandals, but still not offering evidence, promising a decade in prison for anyone found guilty.
They went in there with a knife.
The president previously claimed the pool was impenetrable with a blade.
If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful.
But Monday, he said that's exactly what happened, claiming someone cut a long gash in the pool's lining and pulled at its edges.
Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that they used a knife? Do you have photos or video?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
But the reporters have been down.
So after all that, CBS still selling doubt instead of answers. Next, Emily Miller reports the original contractor is coming back under warranty with no new taxpayer money as crews deal with the algae coming through the pipes.
President Trump said tonight that they are going to have to redo the surface of the reflecting pool just weeks after they finished it. And I can confirm exclusively that the same contractor, Atlantic Industrial Coatings, is coming back under warranty, no new funds, to redo the surface. They will have to drain the pool. Also tonight, there is some weird influx of algae coming through the pipes. Not seen this before, and it is covered the reflecting pool in green.
And then
Under warranty, they're coming back. So the moral collapse sits right there in Scott MacFarlane's own words, not at the pool. In the coverage, he cracked jokes about hearing laughter outside a grand jury room if prosecutors try to treat the threat seriously. That line tells you exactly who the legacy press serves. ABC News, CBS News, CNN did not rush to defend the Lincoln Memorial. They rushed to downgrade the crime, ridicule security, and chip away at a patriotic win before America's 250th birthday. Meanwhile, President Donald J. Trump spelled it out in plain English. 6 arrested, 7 cited, a 350-foot gash, jagged lifted edges, grass destroyed, repairs underway. One side restores beauty, the other sneers at beauty, excuses the wreckers, and calls the cleanup the scandal. So here's the line in the sand. If you still trust ABC, CBS, and CNN after this, then you are choosing propaganda over your own eyes. They heard about 6 arrests, 7 citations, 17 police reports, and physical damage to an American monument, and they still decided that the hero of the story was the guy doing laps around the pool saying he still can't find something. Pathetic. President Trump is doing exactly what a president should do. Protect the monument, repair the damage, track the vandals, and hammer the lying networks that tried to flip the script. And if ABC did push false reporting, then yes, Trump should sue them and route the money to the U.S. Treasury. Let their smear budget fund the country for once. And drop your take in the comments. Should the vandals face the full 10 years that Trump floated? And should the networks pay too? Share this segment with one person still trapped inside the media fog. They need the water cleared. And make sure that you get the notifications that YouTube never sends. Thousands of patriots have already texted the words raw feed to 844-840-4963. They are now on the inside track getting the news that they can make decisions on for their friends and their family. I want you on that list too. And celebrate the wins of America 250. Go to the merch shelf below this video or shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.